Are you ready to enhance your future in tech? Then it's time to make your move to the UK, the nation that has more tech unicorns than France, Germany and Sweden combined. The nation that was third in the world to have a $1 trillion tech sector valuation. The nation where great talent comes together. Visit gov.uk/great talent to see how you can work, live and move to the UK.
On today's Smart 7, Britain braces for Rishi's budget. Super Tuesday sees Nikki Haley win in Vermont and much more. It's Wednesday, 6th of March. It's National Dress Day and happy birthday, Alan Davies.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Today is Budget Day, with Chancellor Jeremy Hunt due to make his speech at 12:30. It's definitely the last budget before the next general election, which has to be held before January 2025. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is hoping that a tax cut, or at least a tax freeze, along with populist measures like introducing a 99% mortgage and extending the cut in fuel duty, will help to improve the Tories' position before an election. Labour's Shadow Paymaster General Jonathan Ashworth says that whatever happens in the budget, it won't fix the economy and undo 14 years of Tory rule.
Working people want change, and I think that's why, actually, there's going to be a May general election. And I'm challenging Rishi Sunak today to name the date of that May general election.
It's understood Rishi still hopes to get the Rwanda bill through Parliament and start flights before any election is called, and Minister for Trade Policy Greg Hands says Labour have troubles of their own in the wake of George Galloway's Rochdale victory.
Keir Starmer's not able to run the Labour Party. This is a person who wants to run the country, but he can't even run his own party competently. He's not got rid of the anti-Semitism that we saw during the Corbyn years. He's not taken effective action.
In advance of his big budget speech, Chancellor Jeremy Hunt popped in to meet King Charles on Tuesday. It's expected that the budget will include a 2p cut in national insurance, but that may in turn lead to steeper spending cuts in public services after the budget. With many councils already struggling to make ends meet and 55% of the British public in favour of more spending on public services, it may seem like a bad idea. Councillor Sean Davies, chair of the Local Government Association, says that the pressure on local budgets is already immense and more cost-cutting will lead to real difficulties.
So we are doing a lot more with a lot less, and that is not sustainable going forward. We've seen 19 councils this year approach the government for exceptional financial assistance. This is bigger than one financial settlement. This is a systematic issue that the government need to address.
But even with Birmingham and Nottingham councils already having to drastically slash budgets, former Home Secretary Priti Patel had little sympathy.
This government has to show its commitment to reducing the size of the state, which has kept growing. Currently, public spending is over £1.2 trillion. That is unsustainable.
Yesterday was Super Tuesday in the US, which saw 16 states and 1 territory go to the polls to select their nominees for November's presidential election. Things largely went to plan for the two leading candidates. Joe Biden won comfortably everywhere except the tiny territory of American Samoa. Donald Trump also won almost all of the contests on the Republican side, but lost in Vermont, which means his only real rival, Nikki Haley, is now the first woman to have won 2 Republican presidential primaries. She's staying in the race for now, even though she's far behind Donald in terms of delegates. Biden described Trump's campaign as one of revenge and retribution in his victory statement, while Trump continued to double down on his mixture of anti-immigrant rhetoric and projection.
People say, a lot of experts have said the stock market's the only thing that's doing well, and that's doing well because our poll numbers are so much higher than Joe Biden's. He's the worst president in the history of our country.
There was no sign of progress towards a ceasefire in Gaza on Tuesday as talks in Cairo broke down. A deadline of Sunday has been set to coincide with the start of the holy month of Ramadan, but there's been no breakthrough between the international negotiators and the Hamas delegation. Israel hasn't sent any representatives, but despite urging from US President Biden, Hamas hasn't made any further steps on the release of hostages. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken met with Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed Al Thani and called on the Houthi rebel to stop their attacks in the Red Sea.
If the Houthis care at all about their own standing, their own reputation, the way in which they're seen by the world, they will stop these attacks and stop the terrible damage that it's doing to people in the region, people in Yemen, people around the world.
Still
to come on today's Smart 7. City are ready for Champions League action, and has Lindsay Lohan been catfished? Right after this.
We got another day of NBA action, so it's time for your FanDuel crew to make their bets. You know, the new customers who bet $5 get $150 back in bonus bets if you win.
You just can't miss tonight.
Make every night a watch party only on FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Virginia. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back. Tuesday night saw more Champions League, last 16 action with Bayern facing Lazio and Real Sociedad welcoming PSG. The Spanish side were hoping home advantage would help overcome a 2-goal deficit from the first leg, but 2 Kylian Mbappe goals were enough to get PSG a 4-1 aggregate win. Bayern started the second leg, 1 down against Lazio, but 2 Harry Kane goals and 1 from Thomas Müller saw the Germans finish 3-1 winners. Manchester City face FC Copenhagen on Wednesday night. City are 3-1 up after the first leg and hoping to ease through to the quarter-finals. City striker Erling Haaland already has 28 goals this season and is hoping for more. He says once you get used to winning, it can be quite addictive.
I'm 23 years old and I won everything, and I got the taste of it, how it is to win everything. And how I work is that when I feel this, I want to win it again.
Lindsay Lohan has had a few comebacks in her career after celebrity life took its toll. Now at 37, she's happily married and has a 7-month-old baby boy, Louis, and it seems life is good. She's been busy promoting her new Netflix movie, An Irish Wish, and she popped up with Jimmy Fallon to chat about some of her greatest hits, including Parent Trap and Freaky Friday. She revealed there's a reboot/sequel on the way for Freaky Friday, and that she still stays in regular contact with co-star Jamie Lee Curtis, although it does sound a bit like one of those catfish scam things.
I would have to send videos to her, and she still would say, "What's the password?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It was a Justin Timberlake song, but the clips rap in the song that we used to sing together. And I don't even know how she remembered that so specifically. And then she's like, "Okay, I believe it's you."
Oh, really?
And then she told everyone. It's not a secret anymore.
Gentlemen seem to be all the rage these days. We're just about to get Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman on Netflix, and now Ewan McGregor has popped up with a series called A Gentleman in Moscow. McGregor shares the lead with a truly remarkable moustache, which starts off Salvador Dali and ends up more Stalin. He plays Count Alexander Ilyich Rostov, who gets sentenced to spend his life in a hotel room after the Russian Revolution. But it's not all room service and linen sheets. It also stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and the first episode is due to drop on Paramount Plus on March 29th.
How are we going to survive these endless days stuck in this hotel?
I have a key that opens every door. There are rooms behind rooms and doors behind doors.
In this hotel, everyone can be watched. It's a dangerous place, especially for you.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.